My name's Carol Reid and I'm a member of the Creativity Group. I'm particularly interested in creativity with children. Here's the word creative used as an acronym to illustrate some key ingredients. C is for care. Children don't care how much we know until they know how much we care. And in my experience, this adage is particularly true when it comes to getting children to be creative. In order to go that extra mile, children need to know that we care for them and that we value and appreciate the efforts that they make. R is for risk-taking. It sometimes feels too risky to engage children in creative activities and safer to stick to mundane, more routine work. The secret is to provide a motivating stimulus and a clear framework, and to keep activities short, at least at first. The rewards in terms of engaging children and producing creative outcomes invariably makes this worthwhile. E is for everyday creativity. Look for ways to be creative in the everyday aspects of your teaching. For example, vary the way you take the register. You can assign the name of a country to children, and as you call their names, they respond with the name of the capital city. In my experience, if you incorporate little ideas like this into your teaching, it's most likely that children will respond by coming up with some creative ideas of their own for you to also use. A is for autonomy. Through encouraging autonomy and offering children choice, children learn to take increasing responsibility for their learning. This develops greater involvement, a sense of ownership, and a willingness to take risks and be more creative. When doing a project, for example, you might give children the option of creating a PowerPoint presentation or a short video or a poster. The point is that by giving children agency and freedom of choice, you're much more likely to get their buy-in, and this in turn leads to greater commitment and better quality and more creative outcomes. T is for try something different. When you're planning creative teaching ideas to use in your class, it's a good rule of thumb to think of what you usually do and then do something different. If, for example, you usually use the first picture or the cover of a picture book to get children to predict a story, why not choose a picture from the middle of the story instead, and get half the class to imagine and hypothesize what comes before that moment in the story, and the other half to imagine and hypothesize what comes afterward, before reading the story and comparing it with the original. I is for inspiration. As Picasso famously said, inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. Creativity doesn't exist in a vacuum. It always arises from something, whether a painting, a picture, an object, a problem, a question, or an idea. There's nothing more likely to dull children's interest or to demotivate them than by giving a decontextualized instruction, such as, "I want you now to write a story." Children need that spark to make them want to engage in the creative activity themselves. They also need appropriate language support and a reason and a purpose for doing what you ask. It's also important for you to convey that as well as inspiration and motivation, creativity also involves disciplined thinking, attention to detail, and a willingness to revisit and revise your work. V is for versatility. Developing versatile, flexible thinking underpins creativity. We can encourage children to develop this by giving them opportunities to play with ideas, make connections, and see relationships between things. Activities such as words in a hat, whereby children randomly pick 2 or 3 words and make a sentence or a story connecting them, or activities such as how many things can you do with an object of your choice, such as a frisbee, are all useful for developing this skill. E is for evaluation. Finally, as part of promoting creativity, we need to train children to evaluate and reflect critically on their own ideas, performance, actions and outcomes. Through critical reflection, children develop metacognition and the ability to assess their own creative work. This forms part of a reflective learning cycle and over time leads to the development of enhanced creative thinking. So there you have it, an acronym of the word creative, with ideas which I hope will help you to enhance creativity with the children you teach.